My first game jam was a mess, and I'm here to tell you absolutely everything that I did in these 3 days of the Wowie Game Jam 2.0. Good morning guys, Noar here. Yeah, good morning, because as you can see we have a different light today. It's very early today. I just wake up and I decide to record because I was trying to record in the last night and I don't know why my phone stopped working. But today I want to share with you what I did for my very first game jam, and as I said, it was a real mess. Today I will not make a video about game development, but at the same time, yeah, because I want to make a devlog. I want to share with you what I did these 3 days of the Wowie Game Jam 2.0, hosted by JONAS, another YouTuber. You can check his channel in the description. So well, let's start with it. I have a very long list here of things that I want to say, so I will try to rush the video because there's a lot of content that I want to share with you. I wanted to record at least steps of what I was doing during the game jam, but to be honest, I didn't have enough time. I was so focused on finishing my game that I didn't realize that I wanted to record, so I only have very short videos about what I was doing in this moment. So instead of this, I will share with you in the screen the Unity project of the game that I did. The name of the project is called Legend of GLITCHRUN. You can play the game now if you go to my itch.io page. But stay here a bit longer if you want to know how I made this game, because I made an RPG game for a game jam and it was the worst idea ever. So well, first problem, the scope. Who tries to make an RPG game for a game jam? I'm from Argentina and the game jam starts here at 5 AM. I wake up at 9 AM and I decide to have breakfast while trying to think of an idea of what I want to realize for the game jam. I get very inspired by The Legend of Zelda. It's my favorite game ever, and if you search in YouTube you will find the speedruns when you use the glitches of the game to finish the game. I get very inspired by this, and that's how I made a puzzle game with RPG elements. Why I did that? I don't know. So that's it. My scope was not big, it was enormous. Of course I finished the game, you can play it now, and I'm in love with my project, but to be honest, in 3 days making an RPG, it was insane. The first thing that I needed for my game was a character, so I decided to create the player. What I needed here was a character who can move, and I added 4 actions to the game. The first one was attack, second defend, the third jump, and 4 an action button. After a while I realized that I didn't need the shield because there's not a lot of enemies, and to be honest I didn't have enough time to make it. And the game is a top down, so jumping was a bit not difficult, but I didn't need it, to be honest. So you only have 3 actions now. First, attack, second, an action button, and third, a pause menu. So yeah, I had my player, I started to create 2 behaviors of enemies, but it was really simple, but I didn't have the sprites. Continuing with the game, I decided that I need a world for my character. So I went to Photoshop and started creating everything. The character sprite, it's made in parts using skeletal animation. I made trees, rocks, houses, the background, and all this kind of stuff. After this, rush again to Unity and put everything there, start adding colliders, adding this, adding the other, and creating the map. In this moment I waste a very big amount of time doing something very easy. If you play Pokemon sometimes, a 2D version of course, you will see that when you have a sprite, for example a tree, if you are in front of the tree, you are in front of the tree, and if you are in the back of the tree, you are in the back of the tree. Pretty obvious. I had an idea of how to make it in Unity. I will not make a tutorial here because this is not the topic of the video, but I struggled a lot trying to do it. I had an idea that I didn't try and went to Google and started researching, and I was right. So I spent like 1 hour and a half of my day trying to solve something that I had the answer but didn't try to do it. I will make a tutorial of this in the future because it's about sorting layers and blah 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 blah, but well, I waste 1 hour and a half trying to solve something that I knew how to solve. At this point it was like 6 hours after I started, and I had my character with animations and my map. I have a world where I can move, and I started working on the warp systems. I needed a warp who can move me to another level and let me appear in a certain point of the scene. I will make a tutorial of this in the future too, so you can go through a door, appear in a specific position in the scene, and the same when you exit. If you play the game and you enter a house and then go out of it, you will appear in a different point. But this is not because my system is broken, it's an intentional glitch. At this moment we have the warps working. That's pretty cool. The first day I worked like 13 hours, I guess. It was a very big amount of time. The second day I started creating the NPCs. I went to Photoshop again and I started making a lot of drafts of the NPCs that I want to add to the game. I realized in this moment that I need to waste a very big amount of time here because I wanted to add a lot of content for the game, and it requires me to create the NPCs, drop them in Unity, and make a lot of different animation for everyone. So I decided to go for a better solution, and it was creating the NPCs in parts like the player for skeletal animation, but trying different sprites, for example for the head, for the body, and blah blah blah. So with this way I can create only one NPC, one animation, and change the parts of the body of the NPC from the inspector in Unity. I have different sprites, I choose them, and I can create different variations of the same NPC. I made this using the 2D animation package. Okay, I had my player, I had my world, I had my NPCs, I had my enemies, not finished, but I had them. So at this moment I need a dialog box, I need to use the dialogue system. The basic of what I did was creating 3 scripts. Or 4. First I need a scriptable object with an array of text where I will write the text that the NPC will say. The second one is dialog manager who will trigger this text and show it on screen, and of course a dialog box on the UI to show the text. What it does is when you talk to a character, the character sends the scriptable object to the dialog manager and the dialog manager show it on screen. That were all the systems that I did for the game. It was like 1 day and a half. But we have a very big problem here. We have all the systems, but we don't have a gameplay. All it's working, but where's the game? So at this moment I start working on everything, polishing this, polishing that, and trying to make a gameplay. All the puzzles were in my head at this moment, so it was pretty easy. I will not explain a lot about it because, to be honest, it's only a lot of different behaviors that will check what the player is doing, and after certain conditions it will advance through the game. And now I needed to add the glitches. I had a few of them that you can use through the game. For example, if you make a combo, you can bug the player and the characters start moving at full speed. And if you collide with something, maybe you destroy it. And when you pause the menu, there's a lot of colliders broken, there's a lot of problems. Having my broken player, I decided to create a different behavior for the elements so you can destroy them on collision while being broken. To make this, I made a very simple script named broken behavior that enabled you to add the script to an object and selecting from a checkbox the different behavior that you want to add. The next was thinking about the enemies. I had my behaviors, but you cannot kill the enemies, and the enemies hadn't the sprites or something like this, they were just squares. And I went to Photoshop, I started rushing it, I create the final boss of the game that it's very simple. In this moment I focus on polishing everything that I had, trying to play the game by itself, realizing that I had a game, something that I can play. And yeah, I had it. At this moment the game was almost done, everything was there, all the levels, all the characters, everything. But not everything. Why? At this moment I believe that I had like 8 hours, and yeah, the game is running pretty cool, but what was left? I needed to add the music, to create the main menu, create a lot of sprites, creating the itch.io page. Oof, it was a really big amount of work that I needed to finish in almost 8 hours. After this, everything was chaos and destruction. I don't even know how I managed to make all these steps in 8 hours or less. I started creating the main menu screens, I went to Photoshop and started drawing everything from scratch. I went back to Unity, add all the sprites that I needed, created the main menu, added the background image, the game title, creating a lot of scripts and animations for the UI to make it good looking. I added all the screens that I need, adding fonts, polishing everything, and I created the music. At this moment I have all the graphics of the game. The game was done and I had all the graphics, but I didn't have enough music. I didn't have music at all, to be honest. So I rushed to Cubase. I had a tiny sound in my head that I hated, but I started creating it because I didn't have enough time to think in other things. And it's the game music. I didn't like it, but it was all that I had. I made everything in 1 hour. After making the music, I decided to record the sounds. It was like 2 AM here in my house. I searched on freesound.org all the sounds that I needed to create to finish the game. I make a checklist of them. I didn't have enough time. I add all the songs to Unity. I needed to create a simple audio manager to put all the music there and manage it from every script. Thank you Brackeys, because I used your system to add the music and I made it. This day I finished the game like at 4:20 or something like this. I finished my game 40 minutes before the deadline, and after this I need to went to each IO, created the game page, add the game, export it in WebGL and for Windows, uploading it, and voila, the game was done. Yeah, first game jam accomplished. So yeah, at this point the game was finished and I had a bug. If you went to my game and tried to play, when you talk to an NPC, you cannot avoid the conversation. It never ends. It repeats and repeats and repeats and didn't allow you to play. So yeah, it was after the game jam end. But if you submit your game, you can make change if you had a real bug. For example, this. So I did it. It took me like 2 hours. It was like 7 AM. I didn't sleep that night only to submit my game. But at the end, I did it. I did it, and you can play the game now on each IO. You can see the link on the screen. If you want to play it, you can do it. I will upload the gameplay of this game because it's very hard, and well, hope you enjoy it. That's all. Now I want to make a little conclusion about my game jam, because this was my first game jam. Thank you JONAS TYROLLER for hosting the game jam. It was very fun. I really enjoy it. I want to make a new game jam, but let's make a conclusion about what I have learned in this game jam. I had a very big scope. I'm very proud of what I did, but I'm not so proud that I had this kind of scope, because it was very hard to create an RPG game in 3 days. It's almost impossible, to be honest. Well, it's not impossible because I did it, but in 3 days I created almost every system that you need to create a game like Legend of Zelda Minish Cap or A Link to the Past. It was damn hard. Try to scope small, especially when trying to make a game for the game jam, because you will suffer a lot in the time that you make it. I will share with you my stats of my game in this game jam. For me, it was pretty good for being the first. I'm under 100 in almost every category except one, and there were like 400 projects. I'm very proud of it, to be honest. I'm very proud of it. I'm very grateful because a lot of people that review my game gave nice reviews. They were very kind, and I want to thank you if you played my game during the game jam, and if you are playing it now or you are here, thank you very much, because I do it for you to enjoy it, and I'm very glad that you enjoy it and that you can take your time to play my games. To be honest, I hadn't bad reviews, but I had a problem here. I realized when trying to make a puzzle game, especially something so hard like my game, I had a lot of reviews that said that my game was very hard. And yes, my game is very hard. You need to take your time to try different things till you realize what you really need to do to complete the game. You can finish the game in 3 minutes, under 3 minutes. But it takes a lot of time to realize what to do, and for a game jam, it's a very big problem. This is my final conclusion that I want to share with you, because this is my experience while trying to make a puzzle game. My game is like an escape room. You need to find the correct solution. Using glitches, it makes it even harder, because you don't know what to expect. And when you are in a game jam, for example this one, you have 400 projects that you want to try. If you find a project like mine, and you want to enjoy it, it takes a lot of time to realize what to do, and you have 400 projects to test. So when you cannot advance through the game, you just skip it, or you believe that you don't take your time. And it's not bad. I'm not disappointed and I'm not angry about it, but I realized this by my experience, that making puzzle games, especially these kind of games that are very hard, it's not the best for a game jam. If you check my stats on this game jam, the worst category for me was simplicity. I'm under 100 in every category, even under 50 in every category, but simplicity I'm over 2000. It's a lot. It makes the difference here for me. But well, at the same time, making a puzzle easy doesn't make a puzzle, right? I'm very proud of the game that I created. I want to share with you. Go and play it. The game has a walkthrough under the game, so you can enjoy all the content. It was made for the people of the game jam to enjoy all the content that I made, so they can enjoy the full game without worrying on what to do. And after this, go to the next game. But well, this is the final conclusion. Thank you very much to everyone that played my game. If you are now going to play my game, if you are watching this video, whatever, if you are here, if you are with me, thank you very much, because this is the thing that I most enjoy in my life. It's making games for you. so you can enjoy them. And this is my very first game jam, and I'm very proud of the game that I created, and I want to share it with you. You can play it now on my itch.io page. You can find the link on the screen or in the description. And well, the next video will be a walkthrough of the game, so you can see everything, and I will try to explain what I thought when doing this. That's all, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, scope small for your next game jam. Hope you enjoy my game and this video and everything. Please share your comments on this video, give a like, subscribe, ring the bell, and all these good things to help me grow, and I want to share with you more projects in the future. Thank you very much, and see you later in the next video. Bye!